Mr. Terry, a high school history teacher. Welcome back to another History Teacher X video. All right, it's only been a day, but this video has completely blown up my timeline. And it is called How World War I Began. And it's by a channel called Mr. Spherical, which I don't think I've seen before. But this video came out yesterday and it has 341,000 views. And it's about World War I. That's all I need to know that this is something I need to be watching. I don't know anything about it other than on the thumbnail, it had some Countryballs. And those are always interesting and fun to look at. And as somebody that loves to learn about World War I hope I can comment on it for you. All right, the original video link is down below in the description. Let's make sure it gets the view, like, subscribe. All right, let's get started. Because we're going to war, got my helmet on. Let's go. All right, France, 1916. Oh, we're not starting at the very beginning. We're going about, depending on when in 1916, you're talking anywhere from about a year and a half to 2 years into the war. That's okay, though. Let's go. Get all the countries. Germans,
this position.
British and the French. Yeet. It wasn't as much of that yeeting going on in 1916 though. They're still locked up pretty hard.
All this senseless killing for freaking what? Believe it or not, Breadstick.
Good question.
The war started because some dude got killed.
Yep.
Wait, what? One dude led to millions of deaths? Yep. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it a bit though. Let's talk. More flashback. Okay.
Okay, they're going back. Okay, great. I'm glad they said that. That exact question is something I pose in my classroom, which is like, we're getting on to the war. And I ask, all right, okay, everybody, before we moved on, why are all these countries fighting and millions of people are dying? And, you know, if somebody that's been paying attention and stuff, they're going to be like, oh, because, and we already talked about it, but like, oh yeah, because Franz Ferdinand, Archduke of Austria-Hungary, got killed. And then I stop him and I go, okay, is that what you think's going through the mind of the British soldier down in the trench there, or even the German soldier or something? They come and they do their infantry charge out of their trench and they're like, for the Archduke. No, it's a very complicated thing. Let's go ahead and get involved here.
So literally every single ruler wanted to hold on to their empire so badly,
yes,
they viewed everyone else's expansion with deep paranoia.
So I often refer to this era as kind of, it's the peak of the whole imperial era. It's like, it's coming to a head now. It's like, when I like to ask, was this the likely end of this age of imperialism? Did imperialism and the age of it going from, especially from the 1800s now to the 1900s, was this its likely conclusion, that at some point after the world has largely been imperialized by these nations, that the imperial nations would go after each other? And I think there's a case to make that yes, in some way.
In Russia and France were sort of BFFs, and on the other side, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy were also BFFs. Heard the phone. Italy? But those guys are on our side now.
True,
They
they
change
flipped.
sides later. But don't get ahead of yourself. Pardon. Okay. So these guys have some informal alliance.
By the way, like, it makes sense. Like, people they talk about Italy like, oh, they're just like these flip-floppers and stuff. But like, when you think about it, if the war was really over Archdukes Franz Ferdinand, and then you get the trigger of alliances and that, then there's not a lot of good motivation to fight. Therefore, you might be more prone and more open to potentially changing sides in a war because you're going to do what benefits your country most. And if the cause of the war really doesn't have anything to do with you and you have no vested interest in it, other than some probably vaguely half pinky promises of alliance, like, how can you, first off, your government, get your people to support the war? But also, like, why go in the first place? Like, if it doesn't have a good reason for it starting, then just pick the side that you think will benefit you most. And that's why Italy ended up, because they were originally part of an alliance with Germany and Austria-Hungary, but they end up fighting on the Allied side because they got a better deal, and maybe they'll get into that.
Alliance. But these guys have a defensive alliance, which means they'll all get into a fight if somebody messes with one of them. Guys, what the hell are you doing?
Central
We're in
Europe
the
on
middle
lock.
of a battle. We're doing the war's origin story. Oh,
British India.
interesting. Voila, monsieur. So everyone is paranoid and power hungry and have alliances and stuff. But you said this all started because one guy got killed. Meet Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Where? He's starting a flashback. Oh. Franz Ferdinand was Archduke of Austria. Pretty chill dude. Listen, Uncle Joe. I mean, Emperor Joseph. There's some Serbian nationalism going on down in one of our provinces.
Right.
So, I'm gonna go flex our military a bit.
Which Austria-Hungary made worse by annexing Bosnia, while the rest of the Balkans retained their independence after getting their independence fairly recently from the Ottoman Empire.
Oh, and keep an eye out. There's a Serbian ultranationalist secret organization called the Black Hand, who may try to kill you. Okay. Bah, I'm sure to be fine. The Black Hand got to Franz Ferdinand and his wife. They were both murdered by gunshot. And that's when the war really started.
By the way, I've covered plenty of things about the assassination of Ferdinand and World War I causes. Look out for those if you're looking for a more detailed kind of commentary from me on that.
They killed his wife too?
Sophie.
Yes, pretty barbaric. You got a wife, Breadstick? Oui, and 2 daughters.
Breadstick.
This is the smallest one I haven't met yet, because of the war. But that's why I'll do everything in my power to survive!
Oh, snap.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Like this, and this! Oh, man.
Countryballs have hands?
This looks bad.
Hands now?
My character development. We have to find a medic! Forget it! You'll die if both of you try to carry me. I'm gonna go look for help. You take care of him. Finish it. Finish the story. I need to know what I'm bleeding to death for. You sure? It gets rather silly from here on out. Like, if I were you, I'd much rather die not knowing all this crazy shit. Finish the story!
That's pretty much World War I. War with a bunch of crazy...
Are those guys seriously discussing how the war started in the middle of a battlefield? Couldn't they catch up in the morning? Oh, that's what happens when you don't have Morning Brew, the sponsors of today's video. Yeah, wait, what? Morning Brew is a free daily newsletter delivered from Monday to Sunday. It's honestly the best way to start your day.
What do y'all think so far about the video?
Your desktop. What about
Are they doing the
Morse code?
Countryballs treatment well?
That's so 20th century. What? Just by checking Morning Brew in the morning, you'll get up to speed on business, finance, and tech in just 5 minutes. And no, this isn't your dry, dense, and boring traditional news. Morning Brew has witty, relevant, and informative news that are quite fun to read. For example, did you know that less than 1% of Netflix subscribers are playing games on the service? What's Netflix? What are you even talking about?
You can play games on
I'm from
Netflix?
the future.
Did I hear that?
Well, Morning
Right?
Brew did sound cool. I'll tell my grandkids to sign up, which could be you that's watching the
You gotta
video.
survive the war
so
first,
be sure
dude.
to click the link in the description
And there's a good
check
chance you
Morning
might
Brew
not
for
be.
yourself. It's completely free and takes less than 15 seconds to subscribe. I'm also from the future. Okay, so at first, people didn't really seem to care that Franz Ferdinand was killed.
Yeah, why would you?
Sure.
It's like most civilians in Europe have no idea who that even is. I mean, he is in line to be the next leader of Austria-Hungary, but I mean, he's down the list there, and other countries are doing with their own stuff, so.
Sucked, but at least there wasn't chaos or anything but then. Serbia! Yo! What the heck, man? You killed my nephew! Oh, crap. I guess some people in my government were plotting against you. Look, I know you're angry. I'm going to have to investigate this. Okay. Inside your country!
Yep.
With my own forces!
Yep.
Okay, but, you know...
The famous ultimatum.
Then I'll get my expansion. I mean my revenge! And that was not the end of it.
Well, and yeah, there was already incredible amount of hostility between the Serbians and Austrians as well. And a lot of people are saying that, like, especially from the Austrians' perspective for how it goes down, that they were already basically looking for a reason to fight. And even before the investigation had fully been done for the assassination of the Archduke, they were already declaring war on Serbia. Give a list of nearly impossible demands, for Serbia to make, and pretty much just wanted to go to war no matter what, right? But at least by giving an ultimatum, the Austrians, I guess, wanted to make it look like, hey, we gave Austria a chance, right? And we thought the terms were fair because because they believed there was a deeper government plot to, have this assassination take place. But yeah, they did not waste any time. That's kind of how crazy World War I is how quickly it escalated.
Germany! What are you doing here? Just out for a stroll. Germany!
Oh no,
Serbia killed
they
my
want in.
nephew. It's a bit more complicated than. Do not worry,
Yeah.
your little schnitzel brain. We will back you up if anyone, like Serbia, tries to mess with you. Oh, thanks, bestie. Okay, Serbia.
Now-
Get your ass ready for invasion!
This is where people say Germany should have urged restraint. Right here, this is like the accusation for Germany. Germany should have, help restrain the situation and de-escalate the situation. When the exact opposite happened with the whole blank check idea, where Germany, or at least the Austrians, interpreted that the Germans were going to support them no matter what happens, and even if it's quickly. Russia, new Russian plan.
Just out for a stroll.
They are
Russia,
Serbia's buddy.
These assholes want to invade me, but
Yep.
only because he killed your nephew. My nephew. Oh, guys, can we not?
By the way, the Franz Joseph, the emperor of the Austria-Hungary, and Franz Ferdinand did not see eye to eye on a lot of things.
I really like Serbia, so if you attack him, I'll have to
Russians are the
mobilize my
champions of
army
the Slavic
to
people,
advance and project
self-proclaimed.
power at you. But if you attack Austria-Hungary, then I'll have to attack you, which means... Wait, I didn't say attack. France?
True.
What are you doing here? We just out for a stroll.
Well, Russia brought France into it because, Germany is basically telling Russia to back down, but Russia's telling Germany, you need to back down. And then with the declaration of war that Germany's going to make on Russia, Russia immediately appeals to France, who within the day basically declares war on Germany. They didn't take a long time to think about these decisions either. Remember, this is kind of an age before a lot of the modern democracies, depending on which country you're talking about here, where decisions don't have to go through a lot of red tape.
France! Germany is going to attack me because they think I'm going to attack him. Because they're going to invade him. Because his nephew, the Archduke,
This is
got
why this is so
murdered.
interesting, this war.
Wow,
There's so
what
much
a
to talk
mess.
about.
Yeah, you have no idea. Whoa! What the hell? Hey, relax. I came back to finish the job. But then I started hearing your story. And yeah, this war is dumb. I'm sorry I shot you.
You're dead.
We are at war. Does these things happen? Can I hear the rest of the story? Sure. What the hell? Take a seat. Okay, where were we? Oh, right. Something. You invade him, I invade you, yada, yada, yada. What? Hey, guys, what's going on?
Belgium! Poor Belgium. Who was neutral at this time, by the way.
Ouch! Did you just preemptive strike me through Belgium? Well, I couldn't wait for you to attack me. It was a logical move. Through that. Wait! But if
Yeah, quick explanation there if you're wondering. What does Belgium have to do with any of this? Germany's military plan encouraged Germany to try to defeat one side of the war because they were split, right? They were split between Russia on the east and a coalition of British and the French on the west. Actually, the British come in just a few days, get into this just a few days later. But nevertheless, in order to try to defeat one of the sides earlier, it was decided that Russia would take a long time to mobilize. And while that's happening, you could potentially take France out quick, put everything you can into France. And the most expedient way to invade and take over France was to go through Belgium, which wouldn't be as defended as their border straight across with Germany and France, which also made Germany look really bad because Belgium was a neutral nation. And that really upset the global community and added to the kind of the idea that the Germans were, the bad guy out of this very, complicated situation.
If you attacked Belgium...
Now the British came in because of that, because they were friends with
the
the
joke's
Belgians.
getting old. The little birdie told me you guys attacked my boy Belgium.
Yep,
Well,
they were
turns
buddies.
out, let me guess, you have an alliance with them. Yep. And I've decided to remain a neutral from now. So yeah, that's more or less how the war started.
Yeah. What's amazing is all that we just looked at happened in like a week. A week.
I think he passed away while you were talking. I don't know how much he heard. Oh. maybe it's for the best. It's not a happy story, honestly. How was it in your country? You know, when the war started. Everyone cheered. We all thought we were doing our great patriotic duty to
Everybody
defend our
did.
allies. That the war would be quick, because we had right and might on our side.
The war was popular amongst the populations in the beginning of the war everywhere. The peoples were unified, okay, of the different countries. Of course, that's going to change as the war progresses, but early on, oh yeah.
Same in London. Whole country cheered us on as we
It's the height of European nationalism, the height.
to kill ourselves because of a bunch of power-hungry rulers who manipulate us ordinary people into fighting for them.
Great pessimism came out of this.
Don't let their countries be the only one telling them the history, so they're not manipulated into making the same mistakes we made. Cheers to that.
Total during the war, to 15 to 22 million people, soldiers and civilians, died across all involved countries. The loss of life was greater than...
Hey guys, I hope you
That's
liked
true.
the video. Thanks to Morning Brew for sponsoring this video. Honestly, if you like the content we do, then we're pretty sure you'll enjoy Morning Brew as well, since they're pretty good at making news fun and interesting. Sign up for free by using morningbrewdaily.com/Mr. Spherical.
All right, final thoughts. You know, one of the things I really liked about this is they used the Countryballs format, but they at least kept a a pretty mature evaluation of the war without it getting like too memey. You know how Countryballs can kind of be like that. So I kind of like that they did that and given it some respect, and also did a good job as far as oversimplifying the kind of outbreak, going from the assassination all the way to the outbreak of the war there. So that was good. They did a great job of it. That was great. The animations were fantastic. The voice acting, that was good stuff too. So I have not seen this channel, Mr. Spherical. So if they got more stuff like this, we can definitely check it out. Let me know if this is the kind of stuff you want to see me cover more. Just let me know. You can let me know over in the Discord server where you can add video suggestions, or just put down in the comments saying you like this. All right, and with that, again, the original video link is down below. Make sure you support it on the way out by clicking on the link. Give them a view, like, subscribe. And if you like what we're doing over here, I'd love to have you as a sub and be a part of our community too. All right, with that, we'll see you next time. Bye.